Today it is just Maz and Braylon. Maz Top 10 Thursdays. Always a fun topic. We've been doing this since the beginning. I think this is one of our first segments that we did.
Let's do it.
I thought about you. I said, you know what? Let's get some NFL in. I said, everybody's talking about, Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's talking about the Super Bowl and the Lions get a chance to get the NFC. It got me thinking about the MVPs. I said, you know what? How about I do my preseason MVPs, dark horses.
Okay.
You like how I switched that up?
I do.
Because right now, if you can say MVP, same names are going to come up. Patrick Mahomes,
yeah.
Joe Burrow,
Of course.
Lamar Jackson is going to be in there, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers.
These are the outsiders.
And everybody
that can have a great year.
These are the outsiders, and I got some pretty wild ones in here. You ready? We're gonna have some fun. Be open-minded. And I gotta add somebody into the mix, by the way.
All right.
I gotta add one. Parker, put up the top 5 for me. Here you go. Top 10 early NFL dark horse MVPs. Number 10, Matt Stafford.
Yes.
Matt Stafford. Got to put Matt Stafford in there because once again, this is dark horses. 2 years ago, he won the MVP. He had 5,200 yards passing that year. Cooper Kupp is also back healthy this year, so I like Matt Stafford. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, early NFL dark horse MVPs. Number 9, Derek Carr. He's going down there with his boys. Been working out with John.
I like that a lot.
He actually might need to be higher on this list. Been working out with John Gruden. He's down there with the Saints. Probably going to be the team that wins that division. Keep your eye out, Derek Carr in the Big Easy. Number 8, Nick Bosa. Arguably the best defensive player in the league on the best defense in the league. Nick Bosa is a havoc. The reason why the 49ers can be mentioned in the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl every year, despite not having a quarterback, he's one of the main catalysts. Why? Number 7, Geno Smith. Saw what he did last year. Balled out with the Seattle Seahawks. Most efficient passer in the league, comeback player of the year, and he got paid, looking to do it again. And then number 6, only so long I believe that Deshaun Watson will be laying on the ground because he is a damn good quarterback. I just think about the year he had before everything came out in Houston. That joker was balling out of control with no D-Hop, mind you. D-Hop was in Arizona already, and then his backup receiver was hurt as well. A lot of that was just Brandon Cook. Maz, top 5 right now. The back 5.
Yep.
What are you thinking right now? Dark horse MVP.
I'm liking it. I think I would move Derek Carr up to maybe number 6.
Yeah, I agree.
Deshaun Watson, I might even move him up into the next bracket because he's going to come back with a vengeance if he's still got it. And we're going to find out if a quarterback can really take off that much time. And I know he came back last year for a few games, but I'm not even going to count that. Let's see what he's got left in the tank. Michael Vick was able to pull it off.
This is true.
Let's see if Deshaun Watson can do it because we all know he's a top 5 quarterback all day long and twice on Sunday. So
you definitely put that rabbit out of you.
There's no doubt about it.
Because I remember that year, 2010 is the year you're talking about with Mike Vick. He had an amazing year. Parker, what do you think about the division, the AFC North? You got Deshaun Watson, you got Kenny Pickett, the young guy. Lamar Jackson just got paid like Johnny Kemp, and then Joe Burrow. Do you see Deshaun Watson and the Browns having a chance in that division this year?
The Bengals are easily winning that division. I don't think there's a
easily.
I think there's not a better team than the Bengals in the AFC North. I think the Ravens, I think the biggest competition is for that second place spot. I think it's going to be between the Browns and the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think the Browns can make the playoffs? Absolutely. I'm not going to write them off. I just think the Bengals are just a much better team. They just top to bottom. They have better receivers. They have a better defense.
Yeah.
Does the Browns have a better defensive player in Myles Garrett? Absolutely. But I think they're just structured a lot better. I think it's going to be another 4th place spot for the Steelers, but I totally agree. I think Deshaun Watson is really slept on after the accusations and all the stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but
accusations, it's a fun word.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson's really slept on. I remember a lot of my buddies back at college were like, "Hey, Deshaun Watson's going to come back and not do anything." But in the games he played, he wasn't what he used to be. Yeah. But I think this year will be a really great showing to see if he's back.
Let me ask my guys that play fantasy football. You're a rookie at fantasy football, so I'm gonna.
Hey, hold on. I got good at the end of the year.
I'll go to you last.
I didn't make the playoffs.
I know Parker
but I
and
won
JB
a game or
play
two.
fantasy like I do. How high are you drafting Deshaun Watson, JB?
Deshaun Watson. Ooh.
That says it all right there.
It's not very high. I'll tell you that. If the back end, maybe if I'm looking for a quarterback, maybe in around 7 or 8,
Wow.
then yeah, it'll probably have to be.
Now,
Deshaun
how
Watson.
about if I asked you this 3 years ago?
Oh, 3 years ago, yeah, he's definitely going in the first round.
And now you're waiting to the 7th, 8th round?
Just because you don't know what you're getting out of
Man.
Deshaun Watson right now, you're hoping for
And
this
you went
bounce
to him
back
first
year.
over me? That's blasphemous.
I'm coming to you last.
You're hoping for this bounce back year, but then again, it's like you're just taking a chance on him at that point in
Yeah.
time. So he's a good backup for you on your fantasy team if you're starting.
Okay. Parker, are you drafting Deshaun Watson on your fantasy
First of
football
all,
team?
are you smoking what he's smoking in that? Stay out of the audio booth, okay? Don't go in there because he's smoking something you don't need to be smoking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not drafting Deshaun Watson first round. I'm not drafting a quarterback first
Yeah,
round
I'm talking
ever.
about when you draft a quarterback.
I draft a quarterback typically third round.
Is he on your top 5 list?
No.
Braylon, I sent it to you.
No, I will draft him in the 5th.
Yeah,
I think the 5th round is a good. I think the 5th round is a good pick for Deshaun Watson. There's some other guys that I will go after, but he's one of those guys that's like a what if guy. Like he's one of those guys I would draft with the intent, like, hey, look, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance on D at 5 because if he's anything like he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it's gonna be worth it to have him be able to pull him off your bench. So see, that was my expertise.
Okay. Good enough.
You know who I picked up in mid last year, and I wish I would have had him earlier in the year, and I kept him the whole season. He actually ended up being my best performer. He's on this list. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get the top 5, Parker? Uh-oh. You see who's number 1?
Oh.
But we got to go in order. Number 5, Tua Tagovailoa. You see what he did? Tua Tagovailoa. You see what they did down there, man. They just keep adding pieces. I think Dalvin Cook ended up going there. But Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, they make it very easy. Number 4, Micah Parsons. Maz, you know that's your guy. He's a disruptor.
I think he's having a huge year.
He's going to have a
this year.
huge. And remember, they made him now. He's not bouncing back and forth. He's not an OLB anymore.
No.
He is a defensive and officially by title. That means he's going to up his sacks. So that means that 15 and a half and 13 and all that. Look for Michael Parsons to have nothing less than 19 sacks.
Really?
19 sacks. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't disagree.
100%. And don't forget, they added the big boy from Michigan, too. One of the sleeper picks in the
Mozzie.
draft. One of the sleeper picks in the draft. He's going to fit well with that defensive
Hell
line.
yeah.
Dexter Jackson, DeMarcus Lawrence, and then you got freaking Micah Parsons. Number 3, Dak Prescott. He is definitely Kirk Cousins-esque, but I it's something about Dak, man. Like I'm waiting for him to have a moment. Like, I'm waiting for Dak to have a moment. I mean, you look at him, you can talk about his playoff wins. He doesn't have a ton of them. He lets you down in big games. 2 playoffs in a row. The interceptions last year was bad. But he always takes it in stride. He always gets better. I just feel like Dak is headed for something special. Like, it shut some people up, including me, because I'm one of the main ones that talk
He's
about
due.
him. He's due.
He's
And that's-
overdue.
He's overdue. They added Brandon Cooks. So you got Brandon Cooks out there with CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, the man in the backfield now. So Dak's due, you know. And plus, once again, he says dark horse MVP. Number 2, Justin Jefferson. He ain't no dark horse MVP. Now, and that's why I put him so high, because I would actually probably put him on my top 10 list too. I might have him at 8 or 9, but I think I'll put him on regular season MVPs. I mean, what do I have to say about this dude? 1,400, followed by 1,600, followed by 1,800. Like, he's increasing by 200. And if you're good at math, 14, 16, 18, then that means the next will be 2,000 yards, breaking Calvin Johnson's record. But we know we don't want that in Detroit. But speaking of Detroit, number 1, Jared Goff. I got Jared Goff on the top 10 early NFL dark horse MVPs. And for everybody that's going crazy, it is dark horse. But at the end of the day, you know, you look at the MVP. What does the MVP have to do? He has to be on a team that wins. You got to be on a team that probably gets to the NFC Championship. You got to, the conference championship. You got to be a player that makes your team better. You look at what he did last year. I mean, one of the only consistents for the Lions last year was Jared Goff. You look, he got his turnovers down. He was very great in the offense, even when guys were out, whether it was DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. He found ways to win games. He found ways to put points on the board. Only thing is going to be Jameson Williams missing the first 6 games. How are they going to be first 6 games of the year? But early dark horse MVPs, why not?
Why not?
Put Jared Goff.
If the Lions are getting all the pub and all the love, and people think they're going to win like they've never won before, why not? Their quarterback. The quarterback is always the straw that stirs the drink. I think that was a perfect spot for Jared Goff in our dark horse MVP race.
Hey, Chet, tell me what you think about the list. Tell me what you guys would have done and reworked the list. But I like it, man. Just thinking about it like this. Another thing Jared Goff is going to benefit by and has been benefiting by is the running game. It's the running game. You look at Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs. Not only did he have Devontae Adams and the receivers, he had 2 really good running backs.
Hell yeah.
They protect the game. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's going to learn and find his footing. But then you got David Montgomery, who's going to have a breakout year. You still have that offensive line. Jared Goff has proved 2 things. One, when you give him time, he can't pick you apart. And also, when you give him a running game, he's going to play well. Last time he had a great running back, he was in the Super Bowl.
Amen.
He was in the Super Bowl. So I like it like this.